Here's the deal. One Supreme Court case out of Louisiana could change who sits in Congress next year, maybe even who controls the House. Quick backstory. After the 2020 census, Louisiana kept 6 House seats. About a third of the state's population is black, but for years, only one district had a black majority. Voting rights groups sued under the Voting Rights Act, specifically Section 2, saying the map diluted black voting power. A lower court agreed and pushed the state to create a second majority black district. Lawmakers redrew the map. Then more lawsuits argued the new map was an unconstitutional racial gerrymander, drawn too much on the basis of race. That's how we got to today. The Supreme Court is weighing a tricky question. How do states comply with the Voting Rights Act, which sometimes requires drawing majority-minority districts without violating the Constitution's ban on racial gerrymandering? Here's what changed. Allen v. Milligan, 2023, reaffirmed that Section 2 still has teeth. Courts can require additional majority-minority districts when minority voters are numerous, geographically compact, politically cohesive. Classic Jingles factors. That decision led to new maps in places like Alabama, and it put pressure on Louisiana. But now Louisiana's case flips the script. The argument: if a mapmaker leans too heavily on race to hit a racial target, say, building a 50% plus black district that can cross a constitutional line, even if the goal is complying with the Voting Rights Act. So the court is being asked to draw that line. How much race is too much when the law tells you to consider it? Why this matters? One seat in a closely divided House can swing control. Louisiana's second majority black district, if it stands, is likely to elect a candidate preferred by black voters. If it's struck down and the state reverts to a single majority black district, that likely shifts one seat back the other way. The legal stakes are bigger than one map. A broad ruling could limit how every state designs Voting Rights Act districts, making them harder to draw without triggering racial gerrymandering challenges. A narrower ruling could just send Louisiana back to the drawing board with more detailed instructions. What to watch for: compactness, traditional map criteria, keeping parishes and communities intact, racial targets and intent, standard mapmakers can follow, or deference to legislatures and lower courts, timing. Let the current map stand for the next election or force a quick redo. Bottom line, this isn't just cartography. These lines shape political power. The court is deciding how much race states can consider when the law itself says race sometimes must be considered. The answer will ripple far beyond Louisiana. If you care about how your vote translates into representation, watch this case. It's a textbook example of how a few lines on a map can redraw the balance of power in Washington. Stay tuned.